Hello, hello. Welcome back. What's up, fellas? How's it
Hey,
going?
hey, gentlemen, what's up?
What's up, boys? How we doing?
Dragging ass
Good.
today, man. I am beat. I'm just ready for hibernation, I think. I'm ready to curl up, put a hooded sweatshirt on, stay in my den all winter.
We got
Oh, it's
teased
coming,
last
man.
week.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep right through this election and all the chaos that's going to ensue for the next 10 months after. Yeah.
I think we're all ready for that crap to be over.
Yeah, for sure. Or for them to let us know that they found aliens and they're coming to help. Fantasy football's been helping some of us. You guys are both doing pretty well. Denny, you're on the leaderboard.
Yeah, yeah, no,
2-0 start.
yeah, it's starting out good. Again, I'm concerned about what I'm going to do with my running backs this week, but other than that, I think looks right now I'm projected to win again, so hopefully that holds true.
And then Alex, I saw a running back fella. You got two Christmas presents in a row. Is somebody
I
else?
just,
Nobody's paying attention?
people once again are asleep at the wheel. Henderson somehow came to me, and I'll be honest, guys. I had put in so many waiver requests that when he came through to reject, to let me know I didn't get it, my phone was vibrating so much I actually thought somebody was calling me.
Yeah, I got my third or my fourth. I didn't think Henderson was going to last at all, so I didn't bother
Yeah.
even putting him on my waivers. But some of my other guys, some of the other picks I'd wanted, guys that were also on my watch list, like Lavishka. Alex, I saw you got him. That was a good pickup. Yeah, I was looking to grab maybe Deion Lewis or Devontae Freeman.
I did notice Alex is leading the league in moves. So far, he's posted 6. I saw Kristen was behind him and Denny was behind. So they both had 5. So people are moving things around for sure.
Look, if I can't win the league, I will win the number of transactions. Okay. Here, I'm going to pull it up and we can see what waiver report, what happened today. So my dad came away with Mike Davis. That was the number one claim. That makes a lot of sense. Not such a girly girl. Went with Logan Thomas. Philly Special had also put in, as you can see, a lot of people put in
Okay.
Mike Davis, Knitter Please as well. These guys were, so we're seeing who's doing their homework, paying attention. I think, so I'm also getting to see how Daryl Henderson had fallen to me, which is, awesome. This is a Christmas gift for me. Daryl, I hope you have a good week this week. Malcolm Brown, I hope you take the week off. Deion Lewis, I think, went to Joe here. Yep, he was added by Joe. That's a great pickup. Dennis, you snagged Jeff Wilson, I believe.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I think that's going to be a sneaky pickup. I really do. I don't think they're going to give McKinnon the full workload because of his knee injuries. So I think Wilson's a very solid pickup here.
I was actually kind of torn there because then I saw that Joe had dropped McKinnon, and I was torn about trying to go and get him, or do I stay with Jeff Wilson? Because I naturally tended to think, well, McKinnon's the more well-known name. He's got more of a pedigree. Maybe they would start him, but I think I did talk myself into keeping Jeff Wilson.
And gentlemen, I was not being sarcastic when I said my phone was I thought I was getting a phone call. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different requests.
Tenacity. If I got turned down that many times, I would never try again.
If at first you don't succeed, brother.
I think by far my favorite highlight of the week was Aaron Rodgers going around telling everybody how much better he feels that Danik is not in his life anymore.
Did he really?
Yeah, it's like the big story this week. His head's really in the game. He's doing great. Feels good. Doesn't have all that chaos to worry about. And like you're talking about that hot chick who drives race cars.
Yeah, that absolute rocket. What are you talking about, man?
So you go from him, who's like, oh, I'm living my best life. Nothing can bring me down. And then Tyrod Taylor, who victim of unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances there.
So
he apparently
go ahead.
He had a cracked rib. The doctor went to inject a cortisone of sorts into the rib and went too far and punctured his lung.
God damn.
Now, from what I understand, there's a way that like they basically do it, blind, which is how they did it against him, or did it to him. This where they kind of just try and feel their way in,
Yeah.
and the other they can use an ultrasound. Now, the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar organization. Why the hell are they not using the ultrasound and instead of just freewheeling? I know the guy's not the future of the organization, but he's still a multi-million-dollar asset and a human being.
Yeah.
Why aren't they trying to use the best tech? I don't know. I was just blown away that there was a safer way to do it, and they went, let's just see what we can do here.
Yeah. I'd like to liken it to the referees having that, instead of putting a microchip in the ball for first down or did the ball cross the goal line type scenarios, like, you like leaving a little bit to the human error, like risk. Maybe that's how they do it with the doctors too.
Well, I like to think of it now like that the doctor bills the team, like our doctors bill us. So like, yeah, that was $27 for that aspirin. I fixed that guy's quad. Yeah, that was like 40 grand, and he just bills it like on a per case basis as opposed to just being, owned by the team. And he gets a copay.
He probably does. Yeah. Oh, sorry. He probably slipped his hand because he heard they rejected like Tyrod's insurance or something.
But honestly, could you imagine like never really been given a chance in the league? You finally fall into this team and the coach is like 100%. He's our starter. He's, like he's the guy, and something like that happens.
So what's the recovery for punctured lung? Like, what does that look like?
I think it's week to week almost.
Yeah, I feel like
they haven't
they recover pretty
indefinite.
quick.
Yeah, they really don't have a timeline for it.
Man,
what movers and shakers this week on the standings.
Yeah, we're going to take the projected finish. I have fallen off a cliff. My time as number one was short-lived. As we all know, Basic Breeze made the largest leap in history, in league history at least. I'm down to 9. Let's see where you're at, B-Man. You are 5th. All right, not really moving. Dennis, congratulations. Top 3, you're getting your money back.
Yep.
Yeah, so a lot of movement on the board so far. And, this largely plays into injury. Saquon's thighs is now projected to win the Rusty Ass. So we'll see about that. She's been an interesting start for her. Last year, she was the rookie of the year with a dominant regular season, going 11-2, starting 0-2 thus far. It's been tough for her. See what her squad's looking like. Let's see who she's playing this week. So she's got Philly Special.
Yeah, they're Philly Special. We have 2 0-2 teams. Somebody's going to come out of this with a win in the column, so that's a plus.
She's already off to a good. She started Preston Williams, who already has caught a touchdown. She forgot to take out Josh Lambo. Oh, that's a big whiff. Ladies and gentlemen, do your homework. Come on. Come on, guys.
Football on Thursdays, everyone.
Football on Thursday. It's okay. Saquon's on the IR and still in Philly Special starting lineup. Now, here's an interesting question for you guys. This is their first year with Saquon. Do you drop him, or do you keep it, or do you hang on to him because he's your keeper for next year?
I'm dropping him to the IR spot, and I'm keeping him as long as I can, and hoping that I don't have to make a move to free up roster space so that I can keep him next year.
I would try to keep him, but also for trade bait later on. Because somebody could want him as their number 1 next year. So I always kind of think that that's a possibility for later on in the season.
So somebody in our league, one of the leagues from Nova Hockey, dropped Barkley. Similar situation, dropped him. I am dumping as much of my free agent acquisition budget to get him for that purpose, potentially keeping this player next year, So I agree with you guys. I would drop him to IR, see what I can find on the waiver wire, see what they added. Marlon Mack they can drop, I would think. This is tough sledding for Philly Special here. They got an uphill battle for sure. So Saquon's thighs, I think, is going to end up in the win column here, really, because Philly Special just has too many injuries.
Yeah, to lose your top 2 running backs that's disastrous. That kills you.
Completely agree. All right. So what other do we want to just go through the games real quick?
Yeah. It's only 8 of them. We might as well run through them.
All right. So let's see. We'll start at the very end here. Parade Day Survivor versus Basic Breeze. They're sticking with Carson Wentz. I saw they had picked up Trubisky, but immediately put him back on the waiver wire in favor of Corey Davis. I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
I like that pickup. That was pretty sneaky.
Everyone's kind of saying Corey Davis has that potential to finally, I mean, every year they say it's this breakout year, but kind of like Devontae Adams did last year and now appears to be finally take that step forward and showcase the talent that he has. So I think that's a really good pickup. He was someone that was on my tracker for sure.
Absolutely. He's shown something this year thus far. This team is now that Miles Sanders is back, if this line, I think it could be dangerous. They tried to get through. What's the record? They're 0-2. Without Sanders, that makes sense. Wentz hasn't played very well. I think they have a tough matchup this week. Basic Breeze has been outperforming the first 2 weeks. So we'll see if that continues. I think it does. I'm going Basic Breeze.
Yeah, I got to go with Basic Breeze on this one too. I'm obviously not a fan of Carson Wentz. Sanders has nobody to run behind. If those two don't go, you're not going to beat Basic Breeze this week. No way. Plus Aaron Rodgers out there once again, just talking trash on his ex, throwing touchdowns.
Single and three, man.
What's better? How can you go against that?
Yeah, I agree, man. James Robinson's about to punch one in, and he does. Touchdown, James Robinson.
Fantastic points out of your flex play already. I mean,
11 points out of your
I could go to bed
already.
happy. That would be fine.
I think she already is in bed. She doesn't even know this game's going on, right?
She was planning on taking him out.
She's battling the little one to get her to sleep, or was battling. So I can totally understand why she's out. But yeah, no, this was a great pickup by her when Fournette was released. She wasn't sure if she should get Chris Thompson or Robinson, so she went with Robinson, and it's been paying off, obviously.
Yeah, looks good. Yeah, so that's my pick here.
D-Rock, you going Basic Breeze too?
I'm gonna go. I'll go opposite of you guys just because. So
All right.
I like it.
I'm gonna say big games from Carson and Miles.
Yeah, Brien, I got to tell you, all this hatred on Carson, it's got me. It's back. I'm back on the Wentz train. Haters gonna hate.
It's a giant overreact.
I think so too.
No, I've been saying he's trash for years. I never bought in.
Well, luckily we hadn't been talking this much, so I didn't have to.
But I wasn't a Foles guy either.
Right.
Yeah.
Nick, what the hell, man?
Come on now. That guy's lame.
Yeah, I know.
He's a nerd.
Hero here.
He's a lucky nerd.
Better lucky than good. He's gotten some nice contracts out of that.
How about when Wentz came to Philadelphia? He'd been here like 3 weeks. He's getting engagement pictures under the Ben Franklin Bridge. Get the fuck out. You haven't earned to be under the Ben Franklin. Get out of here. Go back to your
You're not kidding. You really have hated on this kid since day one.
Yeah. Runs deep.
All right, so next on deck, we got First and Den, 2-0. Knitter, please, 1-1. Let's see. Hold on. I want to check one thing here. Dennis, are you our highest scoring team in the league?
I don't know, because Blazers really started piling on some points there.
Katie's got it. I was just looking at this.
Of course she is.
Because I was even more interesting is the points against, because you can see that 3 of the top 4 teams have also the fewest points against. So maybe they're not as good as we've been giving them the credit for. But yeah, I feel like Katie's team is always leading scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie, I could probably pull it up here. Let's see.
I do feel like a nerd having looked at all this stuff. I'm like,
oh my God,
who was the highest scorer? I used to remember sitting down on like a Monday or Tuesday at my desk and then just spending the whole day doing power rankings. My boss would be like, yeah, I need this report. I'm like, I'm busy.
Working on it. Okay, my internet is not cooperating. I can't get it up. If I get it to come up, I'll see how she's done. But Katie with the exception, I think, of the year she won the Rusty Ass, has been typically a top 5 finish in points for.
Yeah, I see that.
So, Brian, I saw you have a White Claw. I'd call you a basic bitch, but I'm going with a pumpkin ale here. So.
I'm just hydrating in between in between my drugs and alcohol.
All right. So, sorry, Dennis. Let's we interrupted here. Let's hear a little bit more about what you think about this week's matchup.
Yeah, can you bring up the roster, sir?
Yeah, you got it.
I don't have my second monitor up right now.
No worries. You got Lamar. You're facing off against Lamar Jackson, Ingram, Tariq Cohen, Devontae Adams. But I'm hearing more and more it's less likely he's going to play. So
yeah.
OBJ, DJ Shark is out. So that's
now, was that an injury having happened in the first quarter?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, because I thought he was playing up until they hadn't said anything.
Out. No. Yeah, so this came before. It came this afternoon.
Yeah, I feel like ESPN's been late on it too. Like that doesn't give you much of a chance.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Oh, he's out, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can get what's nice too is not a whole lot of movement with Matt Burita being on her bench and also playing, so it doesn't give her a whole lot of opportunity to drop some players. And not having played Chark, I like that. That gives me a lot better odds now. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. I think you got a good shot at winning this. Devontae Freeman, this is a great pickup by them. It's finding that value on the waiver wire, in my opinion. I don't think he brings value this week, mostly because of the COVID and, getting back into football shape. I think it's either next week or the following week. So, Dennis, I think you miss this threat, which I think gives you the win.
Denny, I went on the Watson trade. And it said you should ask Denny for Lamb, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think he's giving him up.
Although he'll be one of the ones that every week they tell you gotta start him. He's gonna have that, and it won't happen. Yeah. So I'll probably get 8 to 9 from him every week.
Yeah, I think you're
25 on the weeks he's on my bench.
You're off to a good start here. I think you're the one of how many other 3-0 teams, and if you're sitting at 3-0, you got to start feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and I dodged a huge bullet with the running back that I have, Mostert. Looks like it's just that MCL sprain. He's going to be kind of week to week, so hopefully 2-3 weeks without him, I can get by, and just kind of hold it together until he gets back.
Unless they go to give him a needle and, jam it.
Cut his leg off.
I've seen Varsity Blues. No, picking up Jeff Wilson, too. That's a good way to patch your lineup, picking up, if arguably his direct backup, replacement, you'll be okay, I think.
Yeah.
And not even beyond this week.
Yeah, that's good. I got Denny in this one.
Yeah, and I think ESPN does too. You have 100% probability to win on Thursday. Congratulations.
So I don't even have to finish checking my lineup.
Nope, you're done. No tinkering necessary.
Game over.
All right, we picked that one. All right, one and done. Oh, the old guys are going out of here.
So I had a weird realization. Chaz is the oldest dude in the league.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, right? Yeah. So we got to give him like an old man nickname.
We got to work on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, so
we'll get creative with that.
Come next week prepared.
So Old Pyros, originally projected to win the entire league post-draft. Patrick Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, Joshua Kelly, Tyler Lockett, Deshaun Jackson, Gazzeski, and then T.Y. Hilton. This is a pretty solid squad still. I like that he finally put Joshua Kelly into the starting lineup.
Still has LeGarrette Blount.
Still has LeGarrette Blount. He's loyal, man. He's loyal. Let's see. Your dad, Deshaun Watson, he's had a tough start to the year. A lot of people are saying without DeAndre Hopkins that it's going to be, they're wondering if he still has the weapons. I still think he does. He just started out with 2 very tough games. I think it was the Ravens last week, and the week before that might have been the Chiefs. These are no joke teams. Kamara, Gaskin's already looking good. He's running the ball pretty regularly. tonight's game. Higbee, stud. He made the Eagles' defense look like a joke. It might be a joke, but I think this kid's gonna have a breakout year.
I'm surprised to see that Boston Scott's not moved into his lineup. I would have thought he tried to work him in this weekend.
Yeah, I think we lost Alex there. Oh, there he is.
Good time.
What do you got on either of these squads? This is 50-50 for me. Where does ESPN have it pegged?
Right now it's showing your dad is 100%, so I'm starting to think something's off with the website.
It had a couple of the early ones where it was, I think Court was 57%.
Yeah.
Like that.
Now she's 100.
Now
so something's not working right. Good job, ESPN. You had one job.
Yeah. Make dudes between the ages of 18 and 75 happy. That was your one job.
Had another comment, but I'll leave that one alone.
Why do you think we have Aaron Andrews?
Okay, Campaign Blazers versus Cadillac Magdalene. This is the 2-0, our league champ, coming up against the highest scoring team thus far in the league. Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, two of the top QBs. Derrick Henry has been underperforming, but, at any moment he could go off and regain his top 5 form. Stephon Diggs has been an absolute gem. This is going to be a tough matchup. Joe has been working the waiver wire like crazy, I see.
Yeah, I was surprised by all those moves. I didn't know he cared so much.
He's been listening to podcasts. We've been making fun of him too much. We might have to stop until he gets picking up Schultz. I like that's a good move.
Yeah.
I think he did.
Aaron Waller
is questionable. Has not practiced at all this week.
Really? I mean, they exhausted him last game. Would he have like 13 catches for 1 million yards and
something like that? They just chose not to cover him.
Yeah, he was open all day.
Yeah. All right, so gentlemen, Deontay Johnson. This guy's a stud. Traquan Smith had a solid game in the first game without Michael Thomas. So Smith, this kid really stepped up. I mean, this team is. I got to give it to Joe. He's really done a good job working the waiver wire, finding some guys. Dion Lewis as a flex. That's not a weak flex right now. So I'm leaning, despite the fact that Campaign Blazers is our highest scoring team, I'm going to stick with the league champ here.
Yeah, I was going to say just by hunch, I think Katie's going to wind up winning this one.
Okay.
Only because the points, and I think Joe will have a really good week. I think it's going to be another one of the situations where you have a team probably outscores majority of the league, but still takes a loss because of who he's up against. I just don't know if Aaron Jones can give you the same he won't give you the output he gave you last week, which was, I think, 40 points or something along those lines. But I think maybe he's going to come back to earth for a week or two with that one. That may be what ultimately hurts him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think for Katie, Derrick Henry goes off. And I'd say for Joe, it's got to be a cool down by Russell Wilson.
Okay. All right. Aaron Jones does have the Saints DST defense this week, and they're very stiff against the run. So I could agree with that. Aaron Jones comes back down to earth, but I'm still sticking with Cadillac Magdalene to win it all.
Excellent.
This week at least. All right, let's see who's next. Boats and throws, chasing summer. Okay, 1-1 versus 0-2. All right, B-Man, how you feeling about this week?
Like I'm gonna lose, right? I have basically no changes in my lineup. I didn't see anything that I could get in my spot. It was 9th in the row for picking. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Waiting for some of these guys to go to the IR clearly, so that I could pick up another player. So I'm gonna go with it as is and roll the dice, expecting to maybe lose here. Just don't have great feelings. I am probably going to make a move for just changing out that defense for anything that looks better game day.
I think that's a good move. I like that I noticed you're starting both Evan Ingram and Dallas Goedert. I think Goddard does have a bounce back week. I hope at least because I'm starting him in another league. I think what's frustrating for you is that Rager, despite that the Eagles have already put him on IR, is still listed as doubtful on ESPN. What the hell's going on here, guys? Get that out there so you can get a player in there.
Yeah, I definitely would have made a move yesterday at the waiver wire if they had moved that around.
Right.
But still have a little bit of faith in the kid, so waiting to see, which is why I'm holding on to him. And then I like that we see Russell Gage getting in the lineup. We talked a little bit about that at the end of last week.
Yep.
Mixon's great. Mike Davis, pretty reliable. So I don't think that the losing ways of chasing summer continue.
Ooh, wow, very dark. So I think, Dennis, what do you think? I'm going to skip to you here.
So I know Brien just hit on Mixon, and it's probably the homer in me, but the Eagles' defense generally does not give up more than 100 yards with a running back, and so I think they'll do a good job containing Mixon this week and keeping them in check. So because of that, and because Cowboys are going to be riding high after that stupid loss that the Falcons took, I think Thielen has a bounce back week. I think Gurley does some good stuff this week, and same thing with Goddard. So I think Brien actually winds up winning this one.
Well, that would be
Yeah.
nice.
So Dennis, you just jinxed the shit out of us. Joe Mixon's going to have a 300-yard day, 2 touchdowns.
I mean, all he has to do is get through the line, and he can do whatever he wants. Jerry's certainly not going to pull him down, and
I was just reading Fletcher Cox, though, hasn't practiced at all this week. It's looking less and less likely he's going to play.
Yeah, he has an abdomen injury that he's nursing. So that's, that means he has sports hernia. So if we're following the Deshaun Jackson route, he'll try coming back in week 9, and then he'll need surgery to take him out of the rest of the year. So
that's another 1:00 game, right?
Yeah, that's another early game.
I like when the birds are kind of bad because then we get all the early games. You can still live your day. We do have a couple 8:00 starts coming up. Yeah. Man, those 8:30 starts are rough. I can't make it.
So I'm actually leaning towards Brien taking this one, mostly just because I think Joe Mixon, I do think he has a good day. Danny Jones, I'm curious to see what he's going to be able to do. I'm leaning towards you right now, Brien, taking this week. I agree with Dennis. Thielen has a bounce back game. Elliott and Prescott, I think they'll be okay this week, though. Dallas. They have the Seahawks. Ooh, actually, at the Seahawks too.
Yeah, see, this makes me a little nervous to have both of those. I don't usually like to have such a combination in play at the same time.
Yeah, that's tough. I think it makes it a little closer. I still think you take it because I'm curious to see how I think you win because I'm just not sure what happens with Mike Davis. If Mike Davis gets 20+ carries, I think it goes the other way. But until then, I'm going Brien on this one.
All right, I'll take it.
Hey, did you see my text earlier about the potential trade?
Yeah, I like that. I hadn't given that any thought, but that would add some nice depth at receiver. And I just don't know whether or not he'd be interested.
I know. Here's why I think he would be, though. His team, so the proposed trade, for everybody's awareness, is for Brien to reach out to Richard and offer Alexander Madison for A.J. Green. A.J. Green is currently on the bench for the old Pyros. The reason I thought it would be a good deal is because Richard has Dalvin Cook, who has a history of injuries. I don't think he's played a complete season yet. Madison is probably one of the top-rated backup or handcuff players in the event that RB1 goes down. A.J. Green, while he's seen a lot of targets, has not yet produced. So as of today, this would be a fair swap, in my opinion, and give you both potential high upside as a result. If A.J. Green starts connecting, Brien, your team now has a well-rounded receiver core. if Dalvin Cook goes down, Richard has a reliable step in RB2.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely see it. I thought it was wise. I thought about pushing it out there before we did this, but figured we would talk about it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I like the idea. It would be really cool to pull off like a 10-team super move where everybody gets the guy they want. Like
Everyone moves one player.
Got a board in the background. It's all connected. Have you ever seen anything like that?
I have not. I wish we could pull it off. That would be a pretty sweet, pretty sweet feat.
All right, Sarah off to another hot start.
I know. Andy Reid's visor versus Not Such a Girl. Oh, sorry, red visor versus Not Such a Girly Girl. 2-0 versus 0-2. Girly girl knows she's got to turn this around.
Yeah, she's feeling the heat, making some roster moves. Absolutely does not like losing. Not a quitter in that kid. So
I like it. I love it. Now, Sarah's also rocking the dual tight ends. Mark Andrews after a stinker last week, bringing out Smith. I think personally, I think it keeps Sarah keeps on a roll here and wins this one, mostly because the running backs for Not Such a Girly Girl are hurting her right now. But Devin Singletary is getting a lot more popular in Buffalo with the coaching staff. Zach Moss has not produced thus far, so he could become a steady running back for this team. But Nyheim Hines was just MIA last week. So that's why I'm sticking with red visor between Edwards-Helaire, Fournette, who has a new role. She's well stocked at the tight end position. I'm going red visors.
Yeah, I'm picking red visor too.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing Denny and red visor both sitting at 3-0 next week. And then looking a little bit further down the line to when they play each other. They're emerging as my winners. Denny, who do you got?
Yeah, I think I'm taking Andy Reid's visors as well on this one. The team just looks, in my opinion, just a little bit stronger this week, and Devin Singletary should start taking more of that role, in my opinion. And with Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis seemingly taking Marlon Mack's spot, I think it puts Nyheim Hines in a tough spot as well. So interesting to see what Logan Thomas does, but if he can start emerging. But other than that, I'm going with Sarah as well.
Did you guys see that they fined a couple of the coaches for not wearing the masks? It's $100,000, man. That's a serious fine.
Yeah.
I think they collected almost like $1.7 million in fines in one weekend.
What did they do with the money?
That's what I want to know. Best idea I heard, though, was to donate it to the COVID-19 relief.
Yeah, or all the crippled players they've left to die over the last decade.
The 8th round draft pick that got all of $100,000 become crippled.
Yeah, well, think about all those old players, like all the old hockey players. Those dudes had to get real jobs.
Yeah, right?
That's crazy.
I'm trying to think about who was it. There was an ESPN article that was telling he was taking painkillers and it basically ate away his intestines. It was insane, but it was a pretty normal painkiller they gave him, but he didn't understand the risks.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but I all right. So back to the squads here. I think Not Such a Girly Girl has just had unfortunate luck. Though her receivers or running backs are weak, her wide receivers are elite. Michael Thomas, this is what's frustrating is he is technically week to week, but we know he's not going to play this week. This is where ESPN, I wish, would do a better job of just, up front saying, all right, he's IR, so she can move him to the IR spot and get some, get another player off the waiver wire.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. And I think the only problem Sarah might have moving forward is that when you look at her bench, she has, a lot of guys injured out there. She can now move Paris Campbell to the IR and maybe fill that spot. But, James White and Duke Johnson, kind of put you in a spot if one of your other running backs goes down. Now you're really scrambling to fill that spot.
Absolutely. You almost couldn't rely on James White anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still mix and matching up in New England.
Yeah. New England's trying to figure out what's going on with the running game. Sony Michel has not been really used, in my opinion. Or has not been used. It's been largely Cam Newton running the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, so, all right. So, last one. Wolfman's got Nards. Lego my Mega. 1-1. Head-to-head. Here we go. Now, here's where it's tough for me, gentlemen. I have Matt Brien in my one league, and I need him to have a big day to be close. So this is absolute torture for me. I need Matt Ryan to do well, but not that well.
I guess what you could do is say you really need Ben Roethlisberger to do well to cancel it out.
Yeah, I need Big Ben. And who are they playing?
I wonder what their records are going against each other. I wonder who has the advantage. I'll look that up later. At quarterback, I got to lean on Ryan a little bit. I think advantage there to Mego. Running backs, probably advantage you, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so Meg and I have played 2 other times in the regular season. I've won both matchups.
That's all time?
That's all time.
You've only played each other twice?
Yeah, only played twice.
Huh.
2017 and 2019. That's why I'm a big proponent of trying to switch up the schedules each year. We have to reset it automatically or manually, excuse me. ESPN does not shuffle the schedule. So, all right, so I'm 2-0 regular season against her. We've never met in the playoffs. Wolfman's got Nards is licking its wounds right now, losing Christian McCaffrey. But the gift of fantasy football Santa Claus of Henderson coming down. Now, I know I'm being such an ass right now that he's going to have a terrible game. But Henderson makes me feel a lot better about this lineup. Hill, I think, he'll get whatever it is, 1 catch for 80 yards and a touchdown. McLaurin, I need him to string this together. I'm a little worried about Hayden Hurst as well as Marquise Brown, but I got the DST I wanted this week in the Chargers. My bench is extremely shallow, in my opinion. I have to carry Benny Snell with James Conner. Zach Moss, I mentioned, I want to see him do more, and I think Chase Edmonds is an interesting prospect in the case Drake goes down. So I don't really feel I have like a lot of moves I can make. But, looking at Megan's roster, she could potentially put Harris. She could put Harris in the IR spot and have 2 open spots here to grab more players. A.J. Brown being hurt really sucks because he's an absolute stud or had, really great rookie season last year. But she's done a great job filling in these guys going down being hurt. Steelers DST is a top-ranked DST. Swift has been a great rookie so far, despite that drop touchdown in the end zone in game 1. Austin Eckler, 20-plus touches. You can't complain about that.
Are you feeling a loss?
Fuck no. I'm winning.
Yeah, I got Wolfman's got Nards on this one.
Yeah, I do too. I think for some, the Detroit running backs haven't seemed to be able to put it together yet with DeAndre Swift, and it seems like they don't know what they want to do with that. And I do like Mike Evans, but I think N'Keal Harry takes a step back this week. I think he's going to be hearing footsteps, keeping his head on a swivel after getting, almost having it taken off last week. So I think he has a bad game, and it comes down to that.
My understanding is that there was a jam fest, so I feel like all those chicks who attended jam fest might be down this week. So if I said a girl was going to win, forget it. I changed my mind.
So Dennis, here's your chance. You've played against Mallory 3 times in the regular season. Never met in the playoffs yet. You have a 1-2 record against her. You typically average about 90 points when you lose to her. When you lose, you score under 90 points. When you're winning, you score more than 95. Unfortunately for you, though, when somebody does beat you, they've gone off. So I guess that's actually a good thing. It's not unfortunate.
Except for that, we have that one game. The last game we played separated by 1 point.
So what do you guys prefer? I prefer to lose by 20 so I don't regret my lineups.
I don't want to be. Yeah, I'd prefer that too. Once I hate having to check constantly to see, did he do anything, and then really having to rely on like that one player to pull you through drives me nuts. And I'd rather just have it be sound, either win or defeat. Just.
I'm with you. It makes me think of
Yeah.
golf. I'd rather miss on a putt entirely than see it like rim out. Like, no, thanks. Yeah, that drives me crazy. I just want to miss.
Yeah.
Actually, in 2016, you had that scenario. You lost by exactly 1 point. So, yeah, I would take this one here or, this one up here where I steadily lost. There was no question about it.
Yeah.
I'm at the point now where I win or lose regardless of what I do. So, I have no impact. So even if it's a close game, I don't go, oh, I could have moved that guy. It was just luck that I didn't,
I hear you, man. No, sometimes you definitely get that vibe that, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to either, obviously you'll win or lose. But for me, it feels like no matter what I do, I'm just going to bring the squad down here. Brien, who are you playing this week? Oh, my dad. That's right.
We've met a number
of matchups. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have met a total of
it's an old
times.
rivalry. Ooh, I like it.
You've beaten them twice.
Yeah.
You met once in the playoffs in 2016.
Oh, look at this.
One of your wins. 1-3 against him in the regular season. So I can see why you were so negative into the.
What happened? What happened? 60-26. What happened in those playoffs? Who died? How many players died?
We only had a 12-team league.
But and the playoffs, we all made the playoffs, right? So I was like last. I think we all made the playoffs that year.
Let's see. So you finished 8th. So the top 6 teams made the playoffs. So this was in the Rusty Ass. This was competing for the Rusty Ass. So you almost were awarded the Rusty Ass and lost the
Yeah,
Russ.
I thought so. That's awesome.
But yeah, so this is why I can see why you feel negative. I'm a bit surprised, but it's been tough going against them, I guess.
Yeah, it's a true rivalry. See if I can even it out.
Absolutely. Here's your chance.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
For sure, boys.
All right, so we'll check back in maybe on Monday.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Cool. I'll set it up. I'm just going to pause it for a minute.